How's it going, fellas, and welcome to the channel where I kick back, relax and talk video games. And in today's episode I'm going to be teaching you how to shoot and how to play with James Harden in NBA 2K18, the man with the beard. I'm going to show you his stats, his badges, his hotspots and everything in between. So if you like that sort of stuff, don't forget to leave a like and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It really does help out. So here are my basic tips for James Harden in NBA 2K18. Let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about, like always, is his stats and tendencies. His shooting stats are nothing special, to be honest. In the mid-80s, I believe, for pretty much every shooting stat across the board. But that isn't the problem with James Harden. His jump shot in all 2Ks has never been fluent. It really hasn't. It's been so hard to hit consistently with James Harden unless you heat him up. If you heat him up, he starts to hit a bit more consistently. But other than that, he really can't shoot. Like, consistently, his stats are high, but he really can't. I don't know what it is. Maybe it isn't his jump shot. Maybe I'm just not good at the game. I don't know. Leave in the comments below whether you can shoot with James Harden, but obviously there's something wrong with his jump shot. One thing that I did notice with James Harden, when driving to the basket, he has a very high draw foul stat. Look, don't rely on this feature, guys, or this stat, because if you were relying on getting fouls to win games, you're just simply not going to win games. But note it in the head that if you do see a guy in the paint one-on-one, even if you do miss the layup, you are going to get a foul a lot of the time in NBA 2K18. But if you start trying to drive with 2-3 defenders in the paint, it's simply not going to work. So if you see one small guy, even sometimes a big man, one-on-one in the paint with James Harden, he does draw a foul a lot of the time. But don't forget as well, if there is more than one person in the paint when you're driving with James Harden, don't forget he is a point guard at heart. Or, you know what I mean, like, he's a point guard, so he can pass the ball. Don't forget that when driving to the basket, because he isn't the tallest guy, so his layups aren't going to go in over big men. He isn't. So look to pass the ball, even if you just pass it to a person that is guarded. Just get the ball out of his hands, because if he runs into the paint, he's not going to do anything. If there's big men and defenders all around him, James Harden just does not have the ability to do anything in the paint. That honestly is the truth with him. He is small, he is weak, and his defense is horrible. Even, I don't know if he's that bad in real life, but in 2K, wow, he is really bad on defense. He has a little bit of speed that can help him, but his defensive stats are really, really bad, guys. If you are looking for a defensive player that can somewhat shoot, this isn't the card, because he can't really shoot and he can't play defense. So other than really driving to the basket, he doesn't really have much. So the next thing I want to talk about is badges and hotspots. And look, the ankle breaker badge for James Harden is surprisingly good. Using this, not in my team, but outside of my team, I've had the ability to use James Harden with all his badges. That's how I do it with these videos. If you ever wonder, I don't play my team with these players. I do use the super powered cards, but these are the cards that my team are eventually going to have. So these overpowered players are going to be the Diamond Steph Currys and the Diamond James Hardens and those sorts of players. So if you can get these badges up to that standard with those good players in my team, they're going to be crazy cards. There's nothing really special when it comes to badges with James Harden, but do upgrade the shooting badges, because anything helps with James Harden and his shooting. He can't shoot the ball. It really does hurt in all 2Ks. Maybe, as I said, maybe I'm just bad with him and can't get his release for the last 4 years. Who knows? But James Harden is really a bad card to shoot with. So the last thing I want to talk about before I end this video is just one basic tip with James Harden. Look, you don't want to shoot threes with him at the start of the game. You want to look to drive and look to hit mid-range with him to let him heat up first. That is one thing with James Harden that I did notice helps a lot with his three-pointers later in the game. If he can score baskets driving and mid-range, it really does help his three-pointer later in the game. If you can get James Harden to heat up, that is the key with him. It honestly is. If you can work away, because he doesn't have any hot spots. That is one thing to help him heat up faster. He doesn't have any hotspots anywhere on the court, so that really does hurt him. But if you can somehow heat him up, that's when James Harden takes over. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. As I always say, if you have any players that you would like to see in this series, leave them in the comments below. Because as I've said, I've got a few more in the works, but I'm starting to run out of players. But there is plenty more in the future. Trust me, guys, there's going to be my career story and everything in between. So if you like that sort of stuff, and I'm going to be jumping on the park as well. I'll be teaching you guys how to use archetypes. I'm not the perfect player with archetypes. I'm not going to be using full in-depth analysis of the badges and all that sort of stuff. I'm just going to be giving you basic tips of the My Park archetypes and what I've learned and what I've observed, not by playing but through watching and by actual basketball knowledge, because basketball knowledge helps so much. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. If you do like this video, don't forget to leave a like and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It really does help out. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. If you like the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.